Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Martin Wong. And today, in our first lockdown for the sixth state, if you're listening for, here we are with some trading ideas with SMARTRobie for our breakfast show. Now, it's quite unfortunate that the cases continue to rise. I think many of you may have seen the news and also the news of the declaration of emergency. Usually we reserve that for some military coup, but this time is for COVID-19. Of course, we have all the news that is coming up. So I hope that this morning, some of you may have some stocks you want me to look at. We definitely have it from Mr. Hong Lee on looking at OpenSys. We will look at that definitely for sure. And if you have some stocks you want me to look at it, I'll be very happy to do that. Now, do take note, there are a couple of events which is ongoing. Definitely, I will talk about in our following show. That's right. So I hope that my slides find you good and feeling well as well. The market has somehow stabilized the event that we've seen so far. Let's look at what we have for you. All right, this is the disclaimer that we have for purely education purposes. Let's move on to our headline that we have for you. All right, so today is our show in here, and definitely we are on the agenda of Wednesday where we'll be looking at intermediate level. So some of you who are attending this morning in here maybe have a bit of experience, but we will look at some of the trade ideas as well as a setup that is needed in here, as well as also looking at the new sentiment at what we have seen so far for that now. All right, let's take a look what we have. That's the agenda for now. Let's look at the news headline. Now, definitely what we have said before is the consent of the emergency for the second time. The first time the Prime Minister Muhyiddin did try, but it was rejected. But this time the COVID cases, we did hit a record high and he finally agreed. But then again, there are talks in town, as well as many political pundits are saying that this is because the last MP, Nazri, I think from the Barisan Nasional has pulled out. So the coalition, which is the Perikatan Nasional, has only less than 109 seats. I think that's do not even have the simple majority. So this is why the COVID now. But like it or not, I think the emergency in the shorter term has stabilized the market, and that's why we've seen the KLCI this morning. Let me just look at the chart here. You can see we are up 19 points just on top of my head here. That's not too bad. So usually, like it or not, do take note, those of you who are first time listening to this, the market like stability. All right, like stability, which means there is an event where policies are, just write it down in your notes, very important, market like stability. So there's a lot of uncertainty like what we've seen previously before the declaration of the emergency, where the political party are coming out. They say, hey, we want a general election the 15th, and we do not know when's the date, right? Because it could be March, and then in the middle of pandemic, what's going to happen? We're going to have more cases, isn't it? So right now, the king, I think in the shorter term, we all have to agree this is for the time good until the vaccine, which is coming in, and I have that in a shorter story just next in here. All right, so let's look at the rubber glove. Definitely, Harta Lega just turned green. Now, some of you may have asked me, do we buy a red pentagon or green pentagon? Of course, if you've been following me and watching the video tutorial that we have provided for you, if you want to know about video tutorial, you can just type here how to get started, how to start, okay? All right, and we have all those in here, and you can type that in here so you can see. Let me just put up the big screen for you, and just bring this down a bit. Sorry for that. Okay, there you go. So you can see here all the video is all just here, and the very short video you're able to follow. So the question of buying on green pentagon and red pentagon, definitely it is green pentagon. All right, so do take. So what we are seeing right now, let's look at Harta Lega. Okay, so Harta, we are looking at what? Let me just bring out Harta Lega now with the good news that the chairman, okay, let's bring out the chart here, hit that stock comment, right? You can see here, okay, this it's still waiting. Yep, that's right. So finally, you can see, of course, you can see here, right? For those of you who don't know, the red pentagon was to sell on 8th of November. You can see on the left hand side, And right now we have one the other day, Green Pentagon, but the market did break down. But this is, yesterday was the first time, and this morning is also up, okay? So you can see one reason why is because the chairman of the Hartalega signaled his faith in the company by directly purchase 30,000 shares. So that's a pretty good news. But I will talk about it more tonight on the resurgence of the third wave, the COVID-19, and how it's going to impact the rubber glove and going forward. So some of those points I'm going to talk about, so make sure you join me tonight at 9:30 for our special talk. So you do take note, you can look on the left hand side too. The Hatta has a win rate of 82% most of the time. Now, it doesn't win all the time, but it does have a very good reading of 82%, and that's almost 11 trade back tested so far. So something that you want to take note of that one. So who knows, this chance, this Green Pentagon for Hartalega, does it come right now? So we don't know, and there's a chance that things may not turn out right. So make sure you put in the necessary stop loss and move on. So this is a very good trade idea. Having said that, something you want to think about in here, and it's all automatically generated by our algorithm. That's right. Okay. Now that is, I will look at some of your questions in here. Okay, so I hope I answered that one for Mr. Chin here. The state of emergency and the stock market's moving up. That's right. What we call certainty in the administration of the thing, and that's what market going up in here. Now, like it or not, we may be politically biased because the government is not fair or the government is fair. But the stock market, like it or not, at the end of the day, like stability. All right, do take note. That's why if you have common sense, then you use common sense in stock market, it may not work very well. If you use common sense, very likely you will lose money. Am I right, God Steady? If I do, just give me a thumbs up. So that's one of the things that we really want to share with you in our segment here, is to share with you, some other ideas that we talk about in here. Yeah, there was another stocks one we look at is also Systag. We will look at that one too. All right. So let's move on to our next news. Okay. So our next news is no other than the Pharma Niaga. Now, at the same time, right, people are saying, hey, the vaccines are coming in, but why the rubber glove going out? Crazy, isn't it, right? They say if vaccine coming, rubber glove will drop down, right? That's the relationship. So at the end of the day, beware. There is what this called smart money. Now, those of you been following, you know what smart money is. Smart money job is to engineer some sort of campaign to sell it down, right? To frighten you, and then finally able to buy it cheap. So it has no relationship sometimes to news. They do use news to scare you. So if you are not trained investor and trained trader, as I talked before, in 2021, is that your agenda for this year? If not, join us on our one-day workshop. That's right, our one-day course, which is the value growth investing, which is coming this Saturday. I know many of you have already signed up because today is the last day to sign up for this Saturday. Besides, with the lockdown that we have, you have no other place to go. Why don't you come and spend a good day on this 16th January? And if you are coming, just type 16th of January so I know you are coming. So this is where we're going to share with you more what we talk about in our SMARTRobie, in the trading idea, and also using Pentagon in here. But the news really talk about Pharma Niaga. If you look at, let's look at Pharma Niaga. Having said that, good news, right? You see this kind of news, you probably wonder, why isn't the market going higher? Of course, everything already been priced in. Okay, let me spell Pharma Niaga correctly first. Pharma, okay, N-A-A-G-A. All right, there you go. So Pharma Niaga, we hit that one in, and we want to look at the stock charts, and we bring it up in here. You can see it actually turned green Pentagon much earlier in there. So SMARTRobie were able to detect before this news come out. Of course, some people do say that, look, the vaccine from China is not as good as the Pfizer. There are reports out from the media and the newspaper saying it is less than maybe 70% efficiency. But the point of it is, if you look back at this news earlier on, it talks about because Chinese are able to sell in bulk. Basically, they ship it in big container, and then Pharma Niaga just put it into a little small bottle. That's about it. All right. So that is the news that we are saying in here. Will we able to choose our vaccine? Apparently, from the statement that I hear from the minister, KJ, say no lah. Science and technology say no. So we have to see how we go for. Definitely, some people who say I have money, I want to go for the Pfizer, and then today, this morning, the news on Johnson & Johnson, which is at currently phase 3, right? Phase 3, and they are talking about $1 dose only. That's right. Not the 2 dose. Pfizer is 2 dose. Moderna is 2 dose. I think Sinovac also 2 dose. But the Johnson & Johnson, it's coming out with the much anticipated result of the phase 3, which has been tested almost 50,000 worldwide. I'm not too sure whether it is, could be in US. But if the result come out 1 dosage, people may opt for the... It's always like that, ladies and gentlemen. It's like iPhone. Okay, the first phone, the smartphone came out not so good, right? But then who came out later? That's the iPhone, is it? And it sort of, make things better. So in a very similar way, the vaccine will be... The first one that comes out, the first one that actually comes out, you know who? You all know who, isn't it? The vaccine. The Russians, isn't it? Right? You don't see Russians selling all over the place, isn't it? The Russian came out with it. They didn't even bother to do phase 3 testing. They just ship it out and say, hey, this one is working, right? And you don't even see President Putin doing it. So usually the first few not so good. You wait until maybe Johnson & Johnson will be better. Of course, it's not going to be cheap, isn't it, right? It is going to be slightly pricey. But then again, we are looking at quality. For our health, I would pay up, isn't it, right? You don't know this kind of side effect that you do. Really, if they didn't even talk about it, all this vaccine has been tested on pregnant women. Will it affect the fetus in the baby? We all don't know, isn't it? So family planning is very, very dangerous. So some people say, hey, no, don't want to have baby for 2 more years because of all this. And like it or not, it remained to be challenged. So all this Zeneca, COVID, like if you look at this price chart in here, the market started. Let's look at where we are for Pharma Niaga. This morning, let's look at the stock price. Should be up this morning in here. Yes, 4% up. Okay, just catching on this news. But usually when you see this kind of news, think to what? Think to? Think to sell. That's right, think to sell inside here. All right. Upside not that much. And going forward. Okay, some of you already... Now, Fu said how to sign up. How to sign up, there is a question in here that... talk about how to sign up. Very simple, just activated your monthly pass and you'll be signing up in here. I will talk about that later on. Let's move on to our next story that we have for you is our US. That's right. Now, part of the US, it's important, as I said before. So with the state of emergency, some of the members did ask me, what do I think about that, the going the next 6 months? Definitely, we have stability, market's going to go up. But then again, for the market to move higher, they need to have independence. So I would think the market has a little downside from here, to be frank with you, but also limited upside too. Okay, but the tech stocks and the rubber glove, I think they're going to go through a nice recovery in here. As a matter of fact, some of the stocks that we're going to talk about, the trade idea for trending list is technology in here. Now, it also coincides with what we've seen with the Dow Jones, and we talk about the US market well support around 30,500 in here, and with the swan in of the 20th of January, that tells you the market has a lot of upside. A lot of stocks are moving up in here. Definitely this weekend on the 16th of January, we'll talk more. We'll spend a full day with you rather than our normal breakfast show. We are limited, but it kind of gives you the kind of issues that we talk about, the material, the methodologies, and more importantly, is what? Is education. Miss Lee asking here, if you are members, you are entitled for the Saturday class. So you don't need to, you will get a link from us. So all our members who have signed up for our plugin and also for those masterclass, you're entitled for the Saturday workshop. So make sure you come in early. That's right. Okay, we will start at 10 o'clock. Registration, you can sort of come into the Zoom around 9:30. More on that later on because we are closing our registration today, and we have a good sign up in here. All right. Peter asked you vaccine stock or glove stock currently. Actually, look at the chart setup. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, if you look at it, for me it's the risk to reward. Okay. It's always that's what being an educator, investor, and an educator trader, it's very important. It's important for me to share with you to always look at the risk. If you always look at the upside, you get into trouble. And this is why we talk about the risk to reward. Okay, so to answer that question on vaccine for Peter, which have, right, I would take rubber glove because it's coming up from a very downside. And tonight, I will talk about the resurgency of the third COVID wave and what's going to happen to the rubber gloves. So make sure you catch me tonight, 9:30 on live FB on another update for the rubber gloves, which we come in and continue to update you on what's happening to the market. All right, so this is in here. So let's look at the strategy and the main agenda, at least I have for the first half of 2021 this year, is to talk about the trades that works very well in 2020. And I want to teach you and make sure you catch them for 2021. That's right. So for 2021, I want you to catch them just like you caught the 2020, where Top Glove, Supermax, 400%, 100%, Vitrox, K1, both between the large cap and the small. So this kind of trading idea, which is important because we use the technical analysis of volume spread analysis, so that you are able to catch them and able to gain much of what we've seen in the relativity sector in here. Of course, when we did the trade simulation for KLCI, and again, the second part of it, the 106% on a portfolio of 35,000, and that producing almost a 9% dividend. And this is something we hope to simulate also for 2021. Again, this is something that we will talk about on January. So our team here is very excited to impart this knowledge to share with you on this coming Saturday. Now, if you want to know more information in here, definitely you can scan the QR code, and we talk about that on the Saturday in here. So let's move on to our news this morning in here. Definitely we can look at the news trading in. Now, if you look at the KLCI news, let me just screen this up a bit more, bigger one. So you can see right now the KLCI, item number 1, struck off the MCO and claim as public bank is the main gainer. That's right. And if you look at it, because of the stability, at least temporary, to 1st of August. Of course, many of you will also argue, hey, why so long? Huh? Emergency, no need, right? But this is where political lah. All the political party will ding dong, and certain people will be taken out to the court, and so on and so forth. But these are just so-called political talk. But from the context of the stock market where you and me can benefit from the rise of the market is stability. Do you agree for that one? All right. So you can see the Bursa Malaysia slipped in the mid-morning because of that was January, but that was yesterday, but it's sort of recovered in here. And then you have those news headline in here. FGV is in positive, but red Pentagon. Advanced Con very positive, but Pentagon is red. Sign Property is very negative to counter US allegation to restore it. So these are news. You can look at it and see whether there is certainly opportunity to trade or not, because news are positive, but the stocks are not yet. So you can see there the Pentagon is still red for that one. So these are basing on trade. And if you're not, then just look at the trade idea that we have to share with you going forward. All right. So if you like what you see so far, do share this and give me a thumbs up. Now let's look at some of the highlights that we have in past trade in here. We've seen that Muda Jaya about 12%. That was 11th of November. Maybach have a 37%. So that's why it is always important to have a target. Okay, to have a target in here. It's not so much about winning. It's more about controlling risks. Right now, our KLCI. All right, if you look very positively, let me go back to here. You can see the KLCI, I forgot to show you this, very important. Here, this is where we have the KLCI. It is still what? Can you see that? It is still red Pentagon. That's right, red Pentagon with orange trend zone, so it is not bullish yet. Well, one point of time we will turn. Well, we have to wait for that turning to come. But we do see there are two signs of strength called SP Spring, right? Again, if you look at the left-hand side, on here, SP, you can go to the QR code and also watch that tutorial. So you can see Pi, which we picked on the 23rd of December. Last week we did talk about it, has moved up 25% here. And UWC hasn't jalan yet. But let's look at the next thing we have for you, which is reviewing, okay, the case study. That's right, the case study that we have on Pi. So if you notice, Pi came out on our trending list on the 22nd of December. So we pick it up on the 23rd. Let's look at the case study for Pi. Okay, I will bring up the chart here. Okay. So this is, okay, bring it up. Okay, so this is Pi. Okay. Now if you look at Pi, very nicely done, is it? 23rd of December was here, right? But 23rd of December. Now you notice, if you were to buy at green Pentagon, you would have got in much earlier, right? So it's really a no-brainer. Enter at possible, right? This is again a trade idea in here for you to perhaps, trade at the green Pentagon, okay? And have a profit target. So if you have gone in much earlier here, okay, 215 here, okay, and the market would have, wow, That's a 40% gain inside. Of course, not every trade, and more importantly, it is purely for education, but because we want you to educate you. Not all trade works out well. Okay, so it's important to know this at all. Okay, so this is what we have, a nice 40% gain. But in coming months and coming days, there will be more trade ideas coming too. So do take note. You can always look at the trending list in here, trading stocks, and for more trade ideas, you can see in here. All right, so that's what we want to see so far. Of course, if we look at it, we have, let me just look at the hourly chart for those of you who are a bit more experienced. You can see, you can even pick it up on the 30th of December, continuing up, or you could just trade this, you know, have a bit. So right now, you can see Pi is moving higher. That's right. So we are trading the daily charts. You can use daily chart to go in, or you can use hourly chart to go in, but use a longer time frame to exit. That is always why we switch on to a daily chart, which means you go in quick, you exit slowly. Let the profit run. Okay, let the profit run. Of course, there's some news about certain Pi. We can take a look at that by just turning on to your news for PIE. That's right, PIE. Okay, so let's go to our next agenda in here. Is what do we have for you? We have the immediate level trade idea, which is the episode 23 and 13 of Jan. We have Greatec, so you can see on the right hand side here, you can see here, right? We have Greatec item number 7, which is hot, the red one. I mean, this is a lot of people are talking about it in the so-called social media space. Okay, then we have Frontkn, and we have Notion VTech. So today I like Greatec and Frontkn. Okay, so let's look at Greatec and Frontkn. So we're going to be using this, right? And first one will be Greatec. Again, we are looking for the what call. You can see Greatec. This is the hourly chart. You can see hourly chart actually yesterday already moved up. So that's why sometimes it's important to have, if you are an active trader, you want to get an hourly chart. This is something you may want to consider in our plugin. That's right, a plugin, you're able to get this on the real-time basis. Of course, we want to switch to a daily chart. This is where we are. Okay, this is where we are. Right, you can see that. Let me just refresh this. Right, and you can see on Green Pentagon, you could have got in around $4. You know, it didn't hit your ATR stop loss and continue to run. So this one today, this market is up 5%, and that's the stocks that we will be looking at. Okay, so on Greatec, and you do notice in here we have the classical, even on hourly chart, we have the classical spring, we have the volume coming in here, we have the what we call the step up volume. The step up volume was a bit low on this side, which is okay, but then finally when it broke through at 3 o'clock yesterday, right, because all the tech stocks are moving up. So something I will do next week, a special talk for you in here, but I'll keep it a bit secret, which I will only review what I'm going to talk about next week tonight at our rubber glove sector talk. All right, so this is a daily chart on Greatec, and what's on here do we have next for you? Next one is Frontkn. Okay, let's bring up Frontkn. So Frontkn also jalan, Frontkn. And you can see here Frontkn, also very nice. You can see on Green Pentagon inside here, right? Green Pentagon, right? The market moved 330, and then you have this nice volume coming up. So this is again up 4% in here. We will come back next week to see how far can Frontkn go. All right. Again, looking at the active chart, if you are active trader, having said that, this is a very nice one, hourly chart. So sometimes one of the things that my trainer do, Zac, they actually look at some of these stocks, and it will sort of notify, hey, there's a nice stock coming in here. If you like it, you want to do it. If you don't like it, just put it aside. But more important is learning the trade setup, the market. How is it going to pan out? Whether there is a possibility of a good trade or a possibility of not a good trade. Anything else is irrelevant, because you also need to look at the risk to reward. Remember, everybody, very important is that you want to become a trained trader and a trained investor. That's my wish for you for the Agenda 2021, and we will kick off with the 16 January Value Growth Investing, where our team in here consists of Arif, myself, we will train you up on the things to look at for year 2021. All right. So those are the two stocks that we are looking at. All right. And we'll come back and see next Wednesday how this thing will fare. All right. Now again, just look at the setup. What we want to see in our intermediate, pay attention to low volume. All right, to low volume. Now one of the things that you do once you have more skill, you upgrade your skill, or you have sort of things that we teach you in our masterclass, which I'll talk about, our February intake, where you want to pay attention to the low volume. Get yourself trained up to there. A lot of people out there can tell you a lot of things, but if you're not trained to read the chart, not trained to pay attention to the price pattern, to the spread of the bar, to the length of the volume, you will always misinform, right? Misinform. Many times we get misinformed. Just like rubber glove, sell down, everybody panic, they sell, now go back up again. They have to get back in again, right? So it's important that you follow some of these rule and methodology. At least you will gain. And it's very sad for me to see 2020 was a good year, but yet there are a fair bit of people who do not make money. It's not that they are foolish or not intelligent. It's partly because they are unskilled. Am I correct or not, right? Because sometimes as age catch up, or you're a bit in a senior, right, you tend to do things which may not be so suitable for you. So you need to find a method that suits your flair, your behavior, your character. Like, you know, the young one, they can go in and out fast, but you may not be able to do so. So don't do that too. Important. Risk, ladies and gentlemen. You want to take care of your risk, you want to take care of your health, so you can enjoy the fruits of success going for 2021, which I think is going to be a good year from the US perspective. For the Malaysian one, I don't know yet. Okay, we have to see whether it can break back to the 1700. All right. So also this is a QR code in here, and if you want to watch more, just scan that one. Of course, we do appreciate, as a token of appreciation and thank you, you can go over and review us on the Google My Business on the left hand side. Scan that one and give us a good word, and and if it's not good, we will help ourselves to improve our services and delivery to you, so our educational aspect will be imparted to you. As I said before, 2021, train investor, train trader. I cannot emphasize it more, because when I first started early in here, there was no one out there. You know, I stumbled here, I banged the door there, lost money, then only I learned. But you don't have to go through what I did. You don't have to go through some of our members have done before. They have come in, they learn the right way to trade, they learn about smart money in here, and they're able to do so much better in future. All right, and that's one of our promise to you, is to help you and guide you for 2021. All right, so do now. Also, some of you who say, hey, you know, I've learned a fair bit from Martin and the team. I want to upgrade myself, and this is definitely the master class that you want to talk about. So write it down on your calendar, February 5, 6, 7, and 10. So it's on 5 days, but the content is over 3 days. And guess what? 2021, the new syllabus, we're going to be focusing on Bitcoin too. We feel that 2021 is going to be a year of the Bitcoin. We've seen 2020, the last 2 months, the market went up almost 300% for Bitcoin. And there is, in my opinion, a room for Bitcoin as part of your investment, as part of your trading strategy. And who knows, if Bitcoin were to go higher, and JP Morgan has talked about hitting 146,000. Yesterday, it corrected 34,000. That's very good. I'm very excited when Bitcoin correct, because I'm playing on the long-term direction of Bitcoin in here. Of course, some of you, the older and the more senior, don't believe in Bitcoin. But then again, take it like a trade. Look at the trade setup, and look at the news that is going up into pushing this price in here. Look at the volume, look at the price pattern, and guess what? You will benefit. We can say, you know, Bitcoin has its weaknesses, right? But we are interested in the major trend. That's more important. And the major trend has been played out in a lot of media. And if you agreed with me, there is still some more room for Bitcoin to go up. And at the end of it, if Bitcoin 2021 were to go higher and you did not take action, then what is the whole point of the agenda we talk about, being a train trader and a train investor in here? So definitely want to talk about. So also tonight, make sure you join me at 9:30, which my team will be busy preparing, is the resurgency of the third wave COVID-19. What's happening to the rubber glove sectors? All right, so I'm going to give you guys an update, looking at some charts, definitely the rubber sectors, and touch on a bit on the pharmacy, and also brief everybody on the top glove briefing on the 5th of January. So I'm going to be, you know, covering that for tonight, the 9:30 in here, to just sort of show you whether there is any more room for the rubber glove to go higher. All right, so see you tonight at 9:30. Definitely, again, our talks are all for purely educational purposes, so you are able to educate yourself and move forward in here. So see you tonight at 9:30 in here. And again, those of you, don't forget, today is our closing date, okay, for the value growth investing course, which is happening this Saturday. We start at 10 to 3:30, which I've been already promoting in here. So there's a couple of things we're going to be talking about: the value growth, value discount, the Pentagon trading portfolio strategy. That's the one you see, the 106% return, whether we can replicate and backtest for year 2021. Of course, if year 2021 is a good year, and we might see a possible good year for everybody, but important again to share with you those fixed trading rules that we have for you in here, so you are able to get in and able to look for those shares too. So see you on Saturday. So make sure you register. To register for that, just go over to SMARTRobie. Just let me share with you here. Go to SMARTRobie. You can go to the wallet transaction. Right now, you see in here. Let me just switch to a bigger chart here, and you just buy the monthly pass. So in here, you can see the monthly pass on the left hand side. Just purchase the English one. I know some of you are purchased the Malay one, but if you're English inclined, just purchase the English purchase, and we will send you an email for attending the Zoom link very, very soon. So for that one, all right. So that's how you activate and register for the monthly pass. Okay, so for those of you who are first time, thank you very much. Do join our Telegram channel and share this with your friend who think can benefit from all our information, trading tips, educational point to get you upgraded to be a trained trader and a trained investor. That's all we wanted to do for the year 2021 to get you up into speed, and I hope that what we have shared with you, and thank you for your time well spent with us. So I hope to see you sooner, if not later, but the earliest will be tonight. All right, see you again. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I forgot. Somebody said asked me to look at some stock. All right, we are going to look at some stocks. In here, let's go on, look at some stocks. Definitely OpenSys. OpenSys in here. So OpenSys Green Pentagon. So okay lah, Green Pentagon just keep lah. Very simple new, all right? Green Pentagon just keep and have a target, okay? Have a target. If you're long-term, short-term, always have a target in here, okay? Switch to daily chart in here. Yeah, oh, that was hourly. So if you look here, we have a red Pentagon. We have the stop loss. Stop loss is 47 cents. So you have to see whether the stop loss, if it violates, just like here, if it violates this, you want to be out, okay? So if you don't know that, just very simple. Go to, go back here, type OpenSys, okay? And OpenSys. If you ask me what should I do, usually I'll just follow SMARTRobie recommendation. Okay, hit that one, and I will look at exit strategy. So I'm just switching the bigger one. So it says that 473. Okay, so 473. So here lah, 473, 473. So that's your stop loss. Okay, 473. Medium target 68 cents. Someone will look at SysTech. I remember. Okay, there's another one. Want me to look at Yongtai? Yeah. Okay. Yongtai. Okay, SysTech. Okay. Oh, unfortunately, there is that another name for? Okay, I'll just bring up here SysTech. SysTech with a H. Okay. So you can see SysTech is still Green Pentagon in here. Not much. Apparently, it has a Green Pentagon, but you notice that the volume here are very, very low, right? It's holding up in here. Just be careful. The stop loss is about 18.5 cents, right? Okay. Now, sometimes when you want to buy something, okay, and after you see this left-hand side here, this is what we call the big wash that they have in August or September. I think this one is a rubber glove, isn't it? Let's take a look. SysTech. Okay, SysTech. Okay, let's look at the news. Whether we have anything on SysTech. Is that the rubber glove? Slowing sign or holding support RHB. Oh, blockchain. Okay. So this is the blockchain one. So it's not going anywhere, right? So what are you going to do with it, right? You want to hope, right? Definitely for me, if I see other stocks moving, what are you going to do about that? So again, a trading plan is important. Having said that, if you look at it, this will move sideways. You have a stop loss there at the Green Pentagon, green pentagon or red pentagon in here, right? So again, I will give you a solution on the 16th of January. What do you want to do with this? All right, so make sure you join me on the 16th for that one. Okay, let's look at another stocks. This is for Z. Just now I have another one here. This dynamic, this dynamic, what this banker? There's no such thing as banker one. All this dynamics, all these banker things are just made by the provider inside there. There's no banker, there's no public, because the stock market there, it's always between the price and volume and the smart money. Remember, they're accumulating at that level. So with dynamic, we will look at that one. Okay, let me just make sure I got the spelling correct. Okay, with dynamic in here, let's look at the stock price and stock chart. Okay, so with dynamic is very nice. It's been going up with dynamic. Okay, now if you look at the green pentagon in here, definitely from this level here, right? That's where it is. So if you have followed the green pentagon and if you have got hold of this, right, let's put it up here, and you have made 100%. That's about it. That's how simple is it. Don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that. So that's why it's important for you. Let me just get this. Yeah, that's right. So that's why it's now at this point, if you want to buy, right, then just look at the VIS dynamic. Look at the trading plan. Okay, you want to buy at 104. Okay, 104 today is 103. Yeah, it broken up. You can go in. So where's your stop loss? Okay, so your stop loss would be, look at the exit strategy here. Okay, if you're gone in, your stop loss will be target profit is 122. Use TP2. Okay, TP2 is your target profit, and your stop loss will be at it didn't say in here, but it just says the exit on when it's a red pentagon. All right, but usually we just use the ATR stop loss over here, which is about the 83 cents in here. If you want to trade this, but definitely you really want to follow a trading plan. Okay, follow a trading plan, or you just use green pentagon. If you're going in with green pentagon and able to run it, I think that's much better, because at this point there is still a bit, not much of a room, but the risk to reward not so good lah. So that's why we talk about being a trained trader and a trained investor in here. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's talk about, next thing talk about Yong Tai. Okay, Yong Tai we have here. So Yong Tai, again, green pentagon. So it looks like very likely this market is just going to move sideways. If you're not out, then this, again, your ATR stop loss in here lah. So you put Yong Tai. Okay. So that will be your plan, actually. Just use Yong Tai and then use exit strategy. Let me just switch to the switch to the exit strategy. Think to exit at 21.5 cents, so which is somewhere around here. Okay, 21.5. Yep, just below the ATR stop loss. Okay, Pentagon Guider, you can read there, it's already red and the orange trend zone. However, Yong Tai may move sideways, downtrend, or go lower here. All right, again, going what we call opportunity cost. That's why I tell people sometimes don't chase lah. Example, with dynamic, yes, it can go up, because I think many of us, because you're not well trained or unskilled, you like to chase. You like this feeling of once I got in, I want to make money. But on the long run, think carefully. Have you made money consistently? Right? So you want to see how the professional people like myself, Zac, we've been doing in and out for the last 10-15 years, and we really want to impact this kind of knowledge to you. So you don't want to be chasing it. I think that's very important. Have some sort of plan. That's why going back to 2021, we ask you, what is your goal? How much do you want to achieve? All right, and that's more important, whether it is possible or not with the kind of stocks that you're looking at. Yes or no? You can say, no, I am 70 plus, I never climbed mountain before, but I want to climb Mount Everest. Cannot. Not can, I'm not saying cannot, but I have to train lah, correct, isn't it? But you say you want to climb maybe this, what's that hill in Semenyet one? Broga Hill, can, right? And you're quite okay, then you can climb. Not everybody can climb Mount Everest. You need proper training too. So it all depends on your goals. Something we'll talk about maybe on Saturday. That's right, on the 16th of January in here. So if there are, okay, there are some more in here. We don't have time to look at it, but definitely you can ask me or ask Zac on Zac's session in here on Friday, or we'll talk more on Saturday. Definitely tonight I'll see you for our final rubber glove update, at least for the first 2 weeks of January in here. So with that, I'll thank you for your time spending with me in here. I'll see you tonight. Bye bye.